Welcome back to the Seek Strength News Show. Welcome back to Slickest on the road. Today we're recording the news show from what I wouldn't say diplomatic friends of the UK, more frenemies. Would you say frenemies?
I feel like we have this is like our little embassy in the UK because we're over here all the time. So definitely not friends with the UK, but we're safe here.
So let's start off the news show with the Artyom session of the news show overlapping with the weightlifting session of the news show. Now, you know we've been hyping up Artyom. Artyom seems like a lovely guy. He's very pleasant to talk to.
I feel like at some point it will be the Artyom show with a news section.
I'm all right with that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
He's wholly deserving of today's section in the news show because he did a 322 kilo back squat. This was a 12 kilo PR. I asked him the other week, are you going to go for 320? He said, maybe in a while. Then he goes ahead and 2 weeks later does 322. Then I asked him, I said, you're surely going for 330? And he said, soon, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, he said he looks ready.
Said he doesn't like the ZKC bar. He said it's too stiff. Said it's solid like a tree.
Oh.
Doesn't like it. I said, I like Lico for big squats. And he said, me too.
Me too.
Yeah, so he's going for 330 at some point.
This is, for a squat on a barbell he doesn't like using, this is a very nice squat.
Now, I have further information that you will find incredibly interesting.
Go on.
He only back squats once a week.
That is insanity.
For singles. Front squats rest of the week. Now, we know they do pretty high frequency of front squatting, so they're obviously making up a lot of the volume. But basically, in this period, he said only one back squat a week. He said coach told him go heavier on that day, and you just listen to coach and you get it done.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for that as well. To be fair, if you're front squatting above 250 kilos every day or every second day, then that makes up for a lot of squat volume.
That sure does.
It really does.
I was asking, do you do a lot of volume at any points? And he said only sometimes, but not a lot.
Yeah.
It's always just kind of heavy singles and then high frequency front squatting from what we know.
At the moment, this is the thickest I think I've seen him. He looks strong.
This is my favourite squat in the last 12 months at least.
Yes.
I think.
I will agree with that.
Until he inevitably does 330.
Yeah.
He seems to have, I know people just talk about his depth. No one's like calling him out on his depth, like, because they're full depth squats for him or whatever in high bar, but it looks pretty deep as well.
Looks pretty deep. The one thing about his squat is that staggered stance, the left foot being further back and being more pointed out to the side.
I think you're being hyper vigilant here with your details.
Hypervigilance elite.
Now, moving on to another second week in a row, we have the great Li Dayin, aka Li Dayin, with a 210 kilo hang clean and jerk. Now, we say 210 because they didn't put the weight, and we're guessing that they're not 10s on the outside, or 20s, or not 20s. So it's unlikely this is like 230 or anything, but not impossible.
You know, there's something about these hang cleans, and obviously we watch a lot of throwers and athletes doing hang cleans where it's really like, This is very kind of flowy.
Yes, yeah.
Very, not loose, but very smooth, if you get what I mean.
This couldn't be anything but 210, because otherwise it would have to be like 220 or 230.
Yeah, it's definitely 210.
It's very, very handy. It is very smooth, yeah. I really like his hand clean. Much better kind of timing, I feel, than his full clean from the floor in terms of like bar catch height, how low he kind of rides it down. His power jerk seems to be getting a little bit better, I think. A little bit more speedy.
That jump back seems to be getting less as well.
He's just not really built for weightlifting in the traditional sense in terms of his limb lengths. But he does seem to be making the power jerk work. You know, his arms relative to his legs and his torso, just not the most typical. If you were to ask me, I'd probably put him in as a sprinter's category. So that relatively normal torso, maybe tending towards the short, the limmy legs.
Yeah.
Now, I know there's a lot of controversy in the sprinting community when it talks about who's got the best limb lengths, and maybe look at the outliers doesn't really make it a spectrum. But it is interesting to see how well he's making it work.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't think there's controversy in the sprinting world. I think there's people who are just in denial. There's a few Egyptian fish.
To be honest, by the fact that you're saying there's not controversy and you saying you have the right answer means there's controversy. I think that's the only way we can put that. So 210 for Mr. Lee. Probably the star of Chinese weightlifting since the CEO of EPO. I stole that from someone else. I don't know who said that.
God.
Now we love Lou. Now next up we've got who I'm not sure, it's Marcin Dolega's maybe relation. There's a video of her. So Marcin Dolega is obviously one of Poland's greatest weightlifters. He had the Snatch world record in the 105 kilo category, world champion, Olympic medalist, all round great guy. Tested positive for nandrolone towards the end of his career at Polish nationals, but that's by and by. There's a picture with Marcin with Marcin. So I wonder if they are related or it's just pure coincidence.
Okay.
I find it unlikely that it's pure coincidence.
Yes.
Either way, she's a multiple youth European champion and medalist. Not quite sure what age she's at the moment. Still, I would assume late teens, maybe very, very early 20s. But here she is clean and jerking 120 kilos. I'm putting the work in for this.
Very, very nice technique.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is obviously incredibly heavy, so the pull is slow. I don't think there's any getting around how slow the pull is going to be, but very nice.
Very nice jerk as well. Great positions in dip and drive of the jerk. You'll have that little hop forward sometimes at heavier cleans when you're going balls out, when you have the maximum level between your kind of strength capabilities. So very impressive lifting.
This seems to be kind of max end efficiency, if you get what I mean. Like, it's not massively strong, not massively powerful, not massively fast, but just kind of perfect technique or close to perfect technique where her strength level is really being maximized, or her strength level is usually being utilized to get that weight overhead.
I really like how aggressively she's setting her back as she gets in. Like, you can really see the thoracic go into extension and then maintains as much as possible as she's pulling under.
Yes.
Poland seem to have no end of nice training halls, or just big.
I was literally just looking at that training hall thinking, that's a lovely looking gym.
Just big training halls.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's actually not that hard to please me with a training hall. The fact that the training hall exists is enough for me to be like, that's a nice training hall, isn't it? It's just enough.
It really is, yeah.
Like, if it looks like an upside down boat with wood everywhere,
oh, that's a massive advantage.
You're really getting me. But the fact that a training hall exists in anything outside of a gym, you just get me,
You know what? Platforms recessed into the ground and large windows looking out at trees does it for me.
I love the tree thing, but the recessed platforms means they're committed to that training hall.
Yeah. Oh, that's not a temporary.
It's not transient.
No.
That is a training hall.
Yeah.
Now, back with Shenzhen weightlifting and Chinese weightlifting, we've got Peng Zhang with possibly one of the most aesthetic split jerks I've seen in a long time. 210 kilos as a 73. Then he moves on to the most useless exercise known to man and jerk recoveries.
It's the short and aggressive dip and drive for me, Griff. I'm not going to lie, that's really what does it for me here.
No, for me, it's his lockout.
Is it?
I love how stable he is. Sometimes people unrack them, and I'm a vicious criminal for this, where I unrack it from the blocks, get a lot of whip and go for it. He unracks it, he's super stable, he's really rigid, like he would be at the top of a clean, and then he nails it. But on top of that, it's the jerk lockout for me is chef's kiss.
For me, it's the dip and drive.
Okay, let me look at the dip and drive again. Let me take note. Yes. It's how fast he's getting under. But it's that overhead position. Look how straight those wrists are. The lockout of the wrists. All the Chinese weightlifters have such good lockouts.
Yeah.
And as someone who's trying to get mine back, I'm jelly. I am a dessert.
As somebody longing for a lockout.
I'm a dessert right now. I'm jealous.
Is this the weird coloured antas that everyone was talking about last
These
year?
are the new antas, yeah. These anti-2s. I can't get behind it.
I cannot support that.
But I can support that jerk. But not those jerk supports.
What I also really like on those jerk blocks, lovely little feature of those jerk blocks, and anyone looking to make their own jerk blocks should look into this, is they have plate storage on the bottom of the jerk block.
Yeah.
So you make a nice light modular system into something very, very solid.
That you can't move, and if you go home gym, you don't have space for.
Yeah.
Next, we have Bodan Hoza, who doing some very impressive hops. That is...
They are my number one marker for a good box jump, no matter what the height is, if it looks like the person is floating.
Yes.
And it's kind of effortless, and he just floats up there.
If you're hitting anywhere between nipple height and above, collarbone and above,
anything above the nipple,
anything above the nip, and you are a good fucking box jumper, especially for weightlifters.
Yeah.
Like, he's over 100 kilos as well. And
Is he?
he's pretty tall for a weightlifter.
He's very tall and long.
Yeah.
Like, he's very tall for his height.
I love how much of a unit the guy who's going to help him is.
Yeah.
That's what you want,
I
sporty.
also love the fact that they have a little movable scaffolding there just to get the box jumps real high.
That's all there is to say about that.
Let's watch it one more time.
It's so
That's
impressive.
a lovely box jump.
He's a great lifter as well.
Box jumps are my favourite thing to watch.
They actually are. They're,
Yeah.
they're up there. Next up, we've got Morgan from USA, as many of you will know, snatching 163 kilos, which is a 7 kilo PR. So he's getting close to that big 170.
Yeah. He'll forever be Mad Lifts 15 in my head. And he'll forever be 15 years old, but obviously he's not 15 years old anymore.
No, I don't even know what age he is now.
Yeah, this is a lovely looking snatch.
Very nice.
His technique does seem to be improving as he gets older.
Yes, it does.
It's becoming more refined. It's getting more dialed in. It's a very, very nice snatch.
Yeah, the future is bright for him.
Yeah.
You know, he's still very early in his weightlifting career. I would love to change his initial pull off the floor. It's a bit of a loop away. Probably change his start position a bit, as he's quite limmy in the lower body. He's very similar to your build, actually.
Yeah, except he's talented in weightlifting.
Yay! Yes, but it's...
I'm assuming he's still with Travis Mash?
No, cal strength.
Okay, sorry.
But Coach Crystal Mac, I'm not sure really.
Because
American weightlifters are always changing. And
that luminous green squat rack is very Mash strength-esque.
yeah, but he's taking cal strength, you know.
Okay.
And be somebody, weight something, wet kisses. Like, the American weightlifters, they're all over the place with their programming. They're just, lads, come on, like, come on.
There's no loyalty.
No, great lifts from Morgan, of course.
Really, really good.
Then moving on, we're on to Miss Amanda Ann, who I'm sure a lot of you will be aware of. She is squatting 501 pounds, which is about 228 kilos for a set of 5. Very low bar position, very, very traditional kind of low bar, which you don't see as a whole lot as much anymore, I think.
No. It's definitely lost popularity in the last few years, that very low bar position. But
yeah,
this is insane.
There is a way you can use that low bar position really well to hit depth without doing a huge amount of bar travel distance. Now, obviously, these are very good squats and very deep, so there's not a problem there. But I'm just saying in general, it kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah.
But obviously, incredible lifting.
Yeah.
This looks like multiple sets of 5.
I don't know what her 1RM is, but you have to assume 245, 250 or north of that.
I'm almost certain she's done more than that in training. And look at these now, you'd have to think it's more than...
Definitely.
Like, based off this, I'd be saying like 255 or 260 at the moment.
Yeah.
Even if this is multiple sets and reps, even if this is one set, you know.
It's so good over the course of the 5 reps as well.
Yeah.
It's not like the second last rep was barely made and then the last rep was barely made. These are very, very good squats.
It just must be horrible squatting on metal plates. It's the worst thing in the world.
And super stiff barbells.
Next up, we've got someone else who's pretty okay at squatting. We have Optimus Prime himself, Ray Williams, squatting 455 for a double. Ray is, of course, one of the best squatters of all time.
Yeah. That initial start to the squat where he kind of jerks and then really slowly sits down is a bit strange. Like, he is unique in that.
Yeah, I'd love to know. I'd love to see someone give that little like case study. Give a really proficient biomechanist with crossover biology. Give that something. Give that good thought. You know, give a little investigation into what he's doing there. You know, or what their thoughts are.
Yeah. Is it just a habit?
Yeah.
Also, he manages to whip the barbell even though the bar is barely moving.
That's partly partial of that as well, that initial drive.
Yeah.
He's definitely given some life in the barbell. You know, sometimes we'll see lifters, especially weightlifters, will do a double dip before they squat, which I don't like people doing.
Little cheater dip.
A little cheater dip and then go into the squat, which I think throws you off balance more than anything, but you do see some lifters do it throughout the years. So that's probably related to that.
Yeah. Very, very nice squats.
Incredible on the comeback. Next, we have Mega Gojira, who is keeping the 400 plus kilo deadlift rolling on the new show with 410 conventional.
I feel like we have a Snapchat streak with 400 kilo plus deadlift.
And obviously, incredibly easy for Mr. Gojira. One of the strongest people alive at the moment, for sure.
Yeah. This is insanely easy.
Very strongman style deadlift. Very
Yeah.
strongman conventional.
Very knees back.
Yes. No danger of hitching, though.
Absolutely not, no. No, it's fast.
Yeah.
It's It's great to see people doing real deadlifts for big weights, isn't it?
What do you mean by real deadlifts? Moving on, we have this absolute fucking freak of nature, Nam Thomas. Nam, so these are pause squats, 600 pounds, 272.5 kilos for a set of 12. I think these are also drop down sets.
These
Or is it
are
drop down sets?
insanely good.
Yes, these are drop down.
You know, firstly, fully legit pauses. Anyone who thinks this isn't a legit pause squat, they're very, very nice pause squats.
Well, some of them are like not major pauses, but it's still a fucking ridiculous set of to be doing like 270. This looks like multiple sets of 12 is the thing. Like this looks like he's doing 4x12 today.
Yeah, and he's on his third set.
What an absolute fucking monster.
Yeah, the size of his legs.
Yeah, the front to back girt.
Most people, when they put knee wraps on, the quads just look small.
Yeah.
You know, you have a lot of wrappage there around the lower quad. His quads look massive.
He has hamstrings that are only built by going after hamstrings that size. Like you just don't get them by accident.
No.
Like your hamstrings don't hang down like an elephant's trunk like that without going after it.
No.
This is
I'm mesmerised by these, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just so easy. I love seeing big weights moved very easily.
For massive amounts of reps.
Yeah.
You're a bit of a fiend for reps yourself.
I loves it.
You're weird in that way.
I loves it for heavy weights, for heavy squats at least. Next up, we've got Joe Strong with the strongest headband in the game. 405 pounds by 5 hang power clean. So Joe's a thrower. These are 182.5 kilos. Very impressive. Very fucking impressive.
Insanely impressive, yeah.
Now,
the only thing I don't like here is the linear force transducer not underneath the barbell. But I don't mind that because it's insanely strong.
Yes.
And insanely fast.
You may remember the last time when we had Joe doing hang power cleans, there was a lot of terrible comments. U straps doesn't count. Is Josh. Maybe that's a joke. I think it's joke. He's in the same dress. He's okay. He's joking. He's joking. He's
just having a good time.
Yeah, there's all nice.
Yeah.
Nice comments here.
Obviously, they watched the news show last time and got lambasted.
They fucking better.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of those comments.
This is just so strong. I'll never not be entertained by throwers making a fool of 180 kilos.
On one hand, I want to say that I wish their technique was better, but then on the other hand, it makes it better.
I don't wish their technique was better.
I think it's better that it's like this. Because it's
definitely better.
It's pure horse getting it done.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I really like about this, is that it's just, they don't know any better. Do you know what I mean? They don't know they shouldn't be doing that.
Because they're just too strong.
They
don't know you shouldn't be able to do that with 180 kilos. It is insane.
Now, sticking with throwers being not knowing what they shouldn't be doing.
Yes.
We have Chuck in Quichi front squatting 255 kilos for a triple with straps. Doesn't matter. It's still a front squat. As fast.
And Gurf doesn't mean they don't know what they're doing. Gurf just means they don't know that this weight shouldn't look that light.
No, they don't know they shouldn't be allowed to do this.
No.
That's the problem with throwers. They just didn't train with weightlifters, and then they didn't know.
Nobody told them how heavy that was.
Because if they had that mental barrier, they'd know that they shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah. These are so easy.
They're so easy. Yeah. At what point are you just too strong for throwing? Like, when do you just stop? You know, when do you stop?
Apparently there is no too strong.
It doesn't seem to be. There seems to be a weapons race for throwers, and they're all just getting stronger.
Throwing has ruined the sport of weightlifting.
I'd love to see some of the videos from the 80s and some of the stories.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed today's new show, Slickest on the road. Thank you for everyone who commented. Loads of these were from people who tagged us in them, so please keep tagging us every week. It means a lot to us, and it makes the new show better, and it makes it more interesting for everyone involved, and we really do appreciate it. So as we say every week, thank you so much.
We'll be flying back to Sikistan on Air Dorks 1 tomorrow or Wednesday, so we'll be back in Sikistan in the hallowed ground for next week.
Thanks, guys.